If you live in Metro Atlanta or you're thinking about making the move here, there is a brand new law you need to know about. Georgia just passed one of the most significant pieces of homeowner legislation in the state's history, and it directly affects anyone living in, buying into, or investing in a neighborhood with an HOA. So let's break it all down. So what is this new law? Georgia lawmakers recently passed Senate Bill 406, officially called the Georgia Property Owners Bill of Rights Act. And here's why it matters. Up until now, homeowners associations in Georgia operated almost entirely without any state-level oversight. They could issue fines, place liens on your home, and in some cases even initiate foreclosure proceedings, often with very little accountability or transparency. That changes now. For the first time in Georgia's history, HOAs are required to register annually with the Secretary of State's office. They have to pay a registration fee and publicly disclose key financial and governance information. And if they don't comply, they lose the ability to collect fines, place liens, or pursue foreclosure on homeowners in their communities. This is a huge shift in power from the HOA boards back to the homeowners. So what specifically does it require? Let's talk specifics because the details really matter here. Under this new law, every HOA in Georgia must register with the state every single year. No exceptions. They have to disclose financial information and how they're governed so homeowners can actually see where their money is going. Board members must live in the communities they govern. No more outside boards making decisions for neighborhoods they don't call home. HOA boards can no longer be controlled by just one or two people, and the law protects against that kind of concentration of power. And perhaps most importantly, if you have a dispute with your HOA, there is now a formal state-supervised process to resolve it. Before this bill, your only real option was to hire a private attorney and fight it out in court. That was expensive, stressful, and most people just gave up. Now, homeowners have real recourse. So the next question you're probably asking is, why did this happen? This bill came out of years of documented complaints from Georgia homeowners who felt victimized by what some are calling predatory HOA practices. We're talking about aggressive fines over minor issues, things like the wrong color mailbox or a trash can left out too long, and legal threats that financially terrorized families. State Senator Donzella James, one of the bill's co-sponsors, put it plainly. For years, she heard case after case of homeowners being taken advantage of, and this legislation is Georgia's answer to that problem. It's about transparency, fairness, and making sure no Georgia homeowner faces foreclosure without proper due process. And this bill had what you almost never see in Atlanta, bipartisan support. Both sides of the aisle agreed this needed to happen. So what does this mean for investors and landlords? Now, if you're a real estate investor or a landlord, whether you're already here in Atlanta or you're considering buying investment properties here in Georgia, listen closely. HOA fees have quietly become one of the biggest threats to rental property profitability across the country. Think about this. Every dollar you pay in HOA dues is a dollar that never reaches your bottom line. And in recent years, rents have been leveling off in a lot of markets while HOA fees keep climbing. That's a dangerous squeeze. One big assessment, we're talking $5,000 or even $10,000, can wipe out an entire year of profit on a rental property. And buyers avoid properties where HOA fees are unpredictable or skyrocketing, which pushes down your resale value as well. This new Georgia law helps protect against that. HOAs now have to meet higher thresholds before pursuing legal action over unpaid dues, and they have to provide better advance notice. For landlords, that means less risk of your rental property being caught in a default situation over a disputed fine. It makes HOA-related costs more predictable, and predictability is everything when you're building a real estate portfolio. So here's the bigger picture. HOAs are everywhere, especially when we're talking about Georgia. They have one of the highest percentages of HOA-run neighborhoods. Here's something that might surprise you, especially if you're moving to Metro Atlanta from out of state. According to U.S. Census data, 81% of new single-family homes sold in 2023 were part of an HOA community. That's up from 73% just a decade earlier. And nationally, about 1 in 3 single-family homes, nearly 34%, already have an HOA. For condos and townhomes, that number jumps to over 84%. What that means for you, if you're buying a home in Metro Atlanta, whether it's a house in a planned community, a townhome in Smyrna, a condo in Midtown, or a new construction home out in the suburbs, there's a very real chance you're buying into an HOA. This law directly affects your life as a homeowner. And if you're coming from a state where HOAs have run wild without any guardrails, Georgia just made itself a more protected place to plant roots. So another question you might be asking, is Georgia alone? Not for long. Georgia didn't make this move in a vacuum. Across the country, there is a growing wave of pushback against unregulated HOAs. In 2026, 46 states are in legislative session, and many of them are actively considering bills that either limit HOA powers, require greater transparency, or even create pathways for communities to dissolve their HOAs entirely. The national conversation around housing affordability has put HOA fees squarely in the spotlight. When you're paying $500 or more a month just in HOA dues on top of your mortgage, taxes, and insurance, that's real money being pulled out of real people's budgets. Money that could go towards savings, paying off debt, or investing for the future. Georgia just sent a message to the rest of the country. Homeowners deserve protection. So for landlords, is this a bad thing? Now, for investors, there is one silver lining. Quick note for investors, HOA fees are tax deductible as a rental expense. You can itemize them on IRS Schedule E along with your other rental related costs. So make sure you're capturing that when you file. So here's the bottom line. If you're a homeowner in Metro Atlanta, this new law has your back in a way that the state has never provided before. You now have real rights, real oversight, and a real process when things go wrong with your HOA. If you're thinking about moving to Atlanta from out of state, know that Georgia just took a major step toward protecting property owners. And that's a great signal about the kind of market you'd be buying into. And if you're an investor, this is one more reason why Georgia, and Atlanta specifically, remains one of the most investor-friendly states in the country. If you have questions about what this means for buying, selling, or investing in Metro Atlanta, drop them in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, make sure you subscribe. Don't miss out what's coming next. And if you're looking to make a move and be one of those people who are wanting to tap into this new law that will fit your family well for the future, give me a call, text, email, however you want to get a hold of me. I help people from all over the country make a move to Georgia. So I look forward to speaking with you. Until then, catch you on the next video.